Who needs the Pacific coast of California or Saint-Tropez when we got places like this here on our doorstep in the UK? I'm down in Dorset. I'm just outside of a little village called Burton, Bradstock, and this is Hive Beach. If I was to head down to the east there, I'd end up in Weymouth. If I head down to the west there, I go to Lyme Regis. It's a beautiful part of the world. But I've not just come down here with a picnic to sit on the beach. Over here, in this green marquee type place, is a place called the Hive Beach Cafe. Now this started out in 1991 as a little shack on the beach basically. And over the years, it's grown and grown and grown. And it's a very well-known, well, restaurant more than cafe, I'd say nowadays. Loads of you guys have recommended for me to come down here. So here I am. Now they champion local produce. I mean, the sea's there. It's seafood focused. Lots of boats land around here, like I say, in the places like Weymouth and Lyme. They're getting their produce off those day boats. Seasonal menus to reflect the catch and what's grown locally. I'm looking forward to it. Well, maybe I was until we checked some of the Google reviews and the TripAdvisor ones on the way down. Decent scores generally, but the last couple of weeks there's been mentions of kind of rude, surly staff, long wait times. So we'll see how it is. I don't know how busy it's going to be today. Looks pretty busy already. Let's get inside and find out what it's all about, shall we? So then folks, in and seated. When I say in, we're pretty much outside. Nice little breeze, which is very, very welcome on a warm day like today. Friendly staff so far. We haven't had the eye-rolling youngsters that some people have mentioned in the comments. This is what we're dealing with here. So they do breakfasts from 10 in the morning till 11:30. Fairly limited, fry-ups, crumpets and some pancakes. Then you're into the main menu. Okay, a few little bits for the table and the mains. So you've got fish and chips, fillet of the day, whole market fish of the day, lobsters, scallops, calamari, crab sandwiches, of course, all around this coast here. Very, very famous for crab, down in Lyme Bay and in Portland. They're obviously making the most of local produce. One vegetarian option, a wild mushroom gnocchi. No, thank you. That's not for me. And then you've got some cakes, scones, desserts. Yeah, all sorts going on. Okay. So, we've got Mrs. Greeno on the camera today. So we've had a drinks order taken, again, very efficiently, within a couple of minutes of being sat down. This is the drinks menu. Mrs. G has gone straight to the cocktails and going for a pink grapefruit spritz at £9.95. I'm driving. Sparkling water for me, £2.10. I'm a cheap date. I think it is a little bit more, it feels more cafe than restaurant right now. Very simple kind of tables, plastic chairs. It's a bit like you'd get sat outside, what, on a beach somewhere like, I don't know, the Amalfi Coast maybe, or Monaco, maybe not Monaco. Somewhere nice though, in the sunshine by the sea, which I can't see because there's a better angle to film it behind me. Them's the breaks, eh? Them's the breaks. Right, let's get some food ordered. Bit of an update. So we've now been in the building 28 minutes. Drinks order was taken within 2 minutes of us sitting down, 5 more minutes for the drinks to come. And then we waited and waited until finally Mrs. Greeno went up to the front desk and said, nobody's coming to take our order. We've been here 28 minutes now in total, so it's 20 minutes plus since the drinks were delivered to the table. Nobody came to take our order. Yeah, it's busy, but plenty of other people are getting orders taken. Couldn't catch anyone's attention. In the end, we had to give up and leave the table to go and get someone to come to the table. Not a great start, but hopefully the food will make up for it. So here we go, folks. This is their grazing board. What have we got here? Some prawns in a Mary Rose sauce in this little bowl. Anchovies, looks like some capers and stuff in there as well. Very vibrant looking beetroot hummus. Some smoked salmon, mixed olives with other bits and bobs in there, and a few little bits of what look like chopped up burger bun. Hopefully they're not. Maybe it's just a bit of a bread roll or something that's been cut up. Now there's no butter or anything to go with this, so I guess we're going to just dig that into the hummus. We'll start with that. I love beetroot. In we go. Look at the colour of it. Proper beetroot colour in there. In it goes. There's a real whack of garlic in there, let me tell you. Whoa. We'll be keeping the vampires away tonight, dear. Mrs. Greeno is a big fan of garlic, so she'll be happy with that. But then you get that kind of earthy sweetness from the beetroot as well. Now, we've not been given any side plates or anything to share this on, so we're just going to have to dive in as we go. I'll grab some cutlery here. We'll take a look at the smoked salmon next. Now, I'm assuming this isn't local, because I'm not aware of any salmon smokeries around this part of the coast. Good chunky bit of salmon though. Reasonably lightly smoked. That has a good flavour. I like it. Into the olives. Now, Mrs. G prefers the green olives, I prefer the black olives. There's no sniper mushrooms in there, I don't think. Well, we do have little cocktail sticks that we can attack them with. Olives are olives of olives, aren't they, you know? They're not bad. But I might use one of these little cocktail sticks to go in and pick up an anchovy. Look at that. It's a big old fillet, isn't it, of anchovy? One of my favourite things, anchovies. It's meaty, it's salty, and then you've got these little capers in there as well. Adding another zing. You'll go in for the prawns. There we go. They could do with a little bit of help. We've got some salt and pepper here on the table. Got some of that salt in there. Got some of that pepper in there. Yeah, the sauce on there is a little bit wishy-washy. I'm going with the fork here. A proper Mary Rose sauce. Should be a little thicker in my opinion. And have a really good zing to it. Maybe some Tabasco or something in there. That's nothing to write home about. Everything else, well, apart from maybe the bread, pretty good. Main courses have been delivered. What's interesting though, obviously we had the sharing board, the grazing board first. We brought over these, right, we finished with the grazing board. It's over here on the side. The guy who brought this over to the table didn't take that away. We'd asked him for another fork, because we used the forks for that. He came back to the table with the fork, still didn't take that away. Someone come over with some mayonnaise that we'd asked for, still haven't taken that away. So, people are walking past the table now, members of staff. Whatever, luckily we have enough space. But it's just those little service elements that kind of lack it a little bit here, I think. They're reasonably busy, but they just don't have that eye for detail that you kind of need. Right, we have the place. This is their market fish of the day with the Jersey Royals. And then if I turn it around here, you can see the sort of buttered greens. I'm not sure how seasonal they are for the height of summer, but it looks really good as a plate of food. £28 for that. The crab sandwich here. There you see the crab inside, a mixture of the white and the brown meat. So with a nice looking side salad, some coleslaw, and vegetable crisps, of which my favourite ones are the beetroot ones. Put that to one side for a minute.
But it was really good.
Portion of chips to go with the sandwich. £4 for a portion of chips. And I'm going to say these are just out of a freezer bag. They're okay. They're not that hot. We'll come back to them in a minute though. On with this place. So it's a whole place. Obviously you've got the head still on there. There should be a fair amount of meat on this, I would say. You can see here underneath all of this greenery. Oh, there's all sorts in there. Got some green beans, we've got some mange too, cabbage, little tender stem broccoli. So it's a nice little veggie selection. A little bit of, I don't know if that's some kind of watercress on top of the fish there. And the place itself. So let's see if we can come all the way down the backbone here. And then scrape some away. And we'll take a little look at the fillet inside. So nice coloured fish there, nice and white. Let's give it a try. Ended up with a mouthful of bones there. Blooming amateur. There we go. Let's be a little bit more careful. That fish is beautifully fresh. It is gorgeous. Really is. Soft flesh. Nice delicate flavour. And of course, when I turn it over in a minute, you can get flesh on the other side. So it's a good portion too. Yeah, I like it. We'll try the potatoes. So Jersey Royal potatoes here, glistening in the sun. You can see they've obviously been boiled and then partly roasted a little bit, because you've got a bit of colour to the outside. They're lovely. Still a little bit firm. They're not overcooked, not undercooked though. Jersey Royals are just delicious, aren't they? Beautiful flavoured potatoes. And how many have we got on the plate here? You've got a good portion of them there. Varying sizes, 5 or 6 of them there. And then all this greenery as well on the side. So let's get a little bit of that with some of this fish. See how it goes together. There we go. Bit of the old cabbage, a little bit of mange too on there, a bit of green bean. Get a bit of everything going on. Yeah, tasty. It is tasty. I thought it might feel a bit wintry. Well, it doesn't. Nice and light. Buttered. A little bit of lemon there as well. I've got more lemon here I can squeeze over the top of everything. Oh, if I'm strong enough. I'll get a little bit of that on the fish. A little bit of that over the veg. And it is a nice dish. It is a nice dish. I'm enjoying it. Right, we're moving on now. Obviously, it's getting quite busy in here now, so there's a bit of background noise. But that's good. It's a convivial kind of atmosphere. People sort of sat, chatting, enjoying themselves. So, crab sandwich here with the salad, veggie crisps here, bit of coleslaw, and chips ordered as a side. This is £17. I know that sounds a lot for a sandwich, but crab is a really expensive ingredient, even when you're pulling out the sea just down here. The chips, now I mentioned when the food came out and I tried one, that they weren't warm. Mrs. Greeno was munching them while I was talking about the place, and she just looked at me and said, these are just stone cold. That is not simply because we've been talking too much about the food, okay? These were not warm when they came out. They're nice enough chips. A bit of mayo on them, embrace my inner Belgian. But £4 for this little bowl of chips. And they weren't even warm when they came to the table. We've not had a check back. Obviously, we've been here a few minutes now. No one's come to check back and see if everything's okay. Yeah, a bit disappointing. Veggie crisps. Which is your favourite of the veggie crisps? What have we got there? Sweet potato or something? I'm guessing that's parsnip. Beetroot's my favourite though. Always beetroot. And they're going for a little bit of this salady stuff. So the slaw here appears to be homemade. Again, a bit like with the prawns earlier. It's lacking in seasoning, flavour, something like that. With coleslaw, you want a little bit of a tang from the onion in there, don't you? A little bit of seasoning. Something in that mayo or whatever dressing you're using. It's bland. It is bland. The salad, nice mixed leaves here. We've got what appears to be a honey mustard dressing on it. Now that's got a really nice zing. There's grain mustard in there, whole grain mustard. That is so much better than the slaw. Yeah, forget the slaw, just put that salad on there. That's really good. That dressing is great. Star of the show, though, is the crab sandwich, okay? Here we go. Now, if you take a look inside here, you can see all the crab meat in there. It's buttered. Now, I'm guessing this is a bakery loaf, okay? Now, I'm going to forgive the fact that the top is a little dry there, because obviously it's been sat out in the warm for a second. We're going to judge it based on the underneath here, which is still nice and soft, okay? Taste of the sea. It is the taste of the sea. Oh, the little waspy person come along here, wants to join in. You're not getting my crab sunshine, that's for sure. Yeah, it's sweet, a little bit salty. And blooming delicious. I do like the crab sandwich. You do sometimes balk at the idea of how much it costs, but it is an expensive product, and you've got to use quite a bit of it to make a whole sandwich. So that's not an issue for me. But there are still issues. Come away from the restaurant to do the outro. I said to Mrs. Greeno, where shall we go and film the outro? Bearing in mind, beautiful blue sea down there. No, she spotted some cows in a field. Let's go and film it by the cows. Well, I suppose the Canadian country singer Corb Lund does say everything is better with some cows around, so maybe it is. The Hive Beach Cafe. Here, Beach Road, Burton, Bradstock in Dorset. Do you know what? I've come away from there with really mixed emotions. If we look at the food, pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. In places, excellent. You know, I think that place is one of the nicest fish I've had in a long time. And those Jersey Royals and those sort of garlic buttered greens underneath it. I mean, that's a great plate of food. So fresh and absolutely delicious. The crab sandwich, again, the crab in there, beautiful. I mean, could you have had slightly higher quality bread? Maybe. The salad was delicious with that honey mustard, but the coleslaw was a letdown. The starter platter thing we had, you know, some things in there, like the beetroot hummus, for example. Now, Mrs. Greeno thinks that's amazing, but she's nuts on garlic, right? For most people, that would be too garlicky. The prawns were so bland, even with adding some salt and pepper, just didn't make a lot of difference to them. The olives were decent. The smoked salmon and the anchovies were excellent. If we were to look at it sort of plate by plate, the place dish, 10 out of 10. The crab sandwich plate, maybe an 8. The starter platter, maybe a 6. Then you start to take the service into account. And that's where it falls down. Oh no, the chips. I forgot the chips. They were cold, and on the menu it's £4. On the receipt here, £4.50. They were, yeah, they had the potential to be really nice chips as well. They were cold. 2 out of 10. Right, service. Seated, drinks order taken, all very, very efficiently. And then the wait began. Food order, what did it take? Another 25 minutes? And only because Mrs. Greeno went to find a waiter to come and take the order. When the starter platter was finished, they brought over the mains, okay? 4 different visits back to the table for different reasons within a sort of minute and a half of those plates being delivered. No one took that away, and it remained there for the rest of our meal. And Mrs. Greeno asked for some tap water. That never materialised. What else was a problem with the service? Asking for the bill, okay? Didn't come to the table. Mrs. Greeno got up, went over, found a waiter and said to them, you know, bill over to table 4, please. And we waited. And then that waiter came back to our table to clear the plates. Said, oh, anything else? Yeah, the bill, please. He'd already been asked for the bill, still didn't bring it. Finally, we got it. In total, £74.55, including a cocktail. I mean, it's not cheap for a lunch, is it? Food good, service not good. Score overall. Like I said, if you take all of the food into account, including the chips, you're probably looking at about a 7.5 out of 10. With the service taken into account, I mean, you've got to put that down to about a 6, I would say. It was that poor. It's worth knocking a 1.5 off. It's a shame because it's a beautiful, beautiful location. Yeah, reasonably busy, but staff yourself accordingly. Train your staff properly. But you know what? It's a lovely, lovely day. Got a lovely wife with me. I got the cows around as well. Should we go and just sit by the sea and chill out a little bit, dear? What do you reckon? That's getting a nod. Oh, she wants another blooming cocktail. Jeez. No, we're going home. Right. That's going to be it from me. Don't forget, thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding your bell for notifications. Hype if you're one of the cool kids on your little mobile device. You guys all know the drill by now. Yeah, let's go and sit by the sea a little bit, dear. We'll see you next time, folks. Bye for now.